Okay, guys and girls, here we are. Morsels of a Thought number 1905. I am reading to you from chapter 9 of Cavin Ballister's How to Feed a Brain. I'm a little late today, but we're still on today. I am going to try to go back to mornings. Evenings don't do too good with me. Chapter 9, The Ends, Nutrients for Synaptogenesis. Synaptogenesis occurs when neurons grow and connect with each other. This is one of the mechanisms by which the brain builds and repairs itself. It, so synaptogenesis is especially important after a concussion or brain injury. Synaptogenesis is essentially the creation of connections in the brain which create our habits. As we all know, there are good habits and bad habits. If we practice doing something the wrong way, we strengthen a pathway to do that thing the wrong way. This is known as negative plasticity. Synaptogenesis is something we want to support, but it is also very important that we stimulate our brains in a desirable way, like through targeted therapy, positivity, mindfulness, and meditation, so that we don't create undesirable neuronal connections like bad habits or negative thought patterns. Coming back to the analogy I borrowed from Dr. Alex Vasquez, Dr. Alex Vasquez, DCNDDOFACN. Let's think, let's again think of neurons as plants and the cells that support neurons, glia, as the soil that the plants are potted in. If a plant is if a plant is wilting and dying, it does not take a scientist with a degree in botany to nurse the wilting plant back to health. It takes someone with a quote, green thumb, end quote, to provide good soil, water, sunlight, and a little encouragement, therapy. If we can support the environment that the plants are potted in, then we can begin to rebuild some of the damaged connections within the brain and restore the functionality and communication between neurons. In other words, the neurons of the nervous system are designed to heal themselves as long as they are given the right ingredients and the right environment to do so. And what is really exciting is that we can nutritionally affect the glia to be the healthiest soil it can be so that it can support and maintain the functions of the neurons as well as ensure a constant supply of nutrients. That's page 77. The work of Dr. Richard Wortman, Wurtman, MD, a distinguished professor of neuroscience in MIT's Department of Brain and Cognitive Sciences, shows us the importance of specific nutrients in the developing and recovering brain. In many of his articles, including this one published in the 2009 Annual Review of Nutrition from MIT's Department of Brain and Cognitive Sciences, titled Use of Phosphatide Precursors to Promote Synaptogenesis, three key nutrients are described to support the membranes needed for making these connections. He has since published more articles describing these describing these nutrients and their effect on aging, diseased, and injured brains. These three nutrients are choline, an essential nutrient spelled CHOLINE, an essential nutrient that is used in the synthesis of components in cell membranes. Docosahexaenic acid, Oh, sorry. Hexaenoic acid. Docosahexaenoic acid, DHA, an omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acid. Uridine, Uridine, one of the 5 nucleotides that make our DNA and RNA. While infants get all 3 of these nutrients from mother's milk, Dr. Wortman says there is no food or combination of foods that we adults typically consume to significantly increase blood levels of all 3 key ingredients. He specifically points out that increasing uridine in the blood is nearly impossible without supplementation of or human mother's milk. Because I agree with Dr. Walls that there are likely synergistic compounds in foods, I like to supplement all 3 of these nutrients in addition to eating the foods that supply each of them, even if they may not increase that particular nutrient in the blood. Let's explore what these nutrients are and the foods where they can be found, and then we will talk about supplementation and how we can supply these in gastric feeds. You can find these synaptogenic supplements at feedabrain.com/synapto. Choline. Choline is an essential nutrient that is found in high concentrations in sources like meat, especially organ meats, fish, and egg yolks. There is also some choline found in cauliflower, broccoli, collard greens, beans not encouraged, and soy milk not advised as well. Choline is very important for building and maintaining the cell and neuronal membranes of the brain and body. It is also essential in making acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that is associated with memory and movement. Acetylcholine is the most common neurotransmitter in our bodies. It has very important functions in both the autonomic nervous system and digestion, as well as muscle control and strength. In the brain, it plays a large role in arousal, attention, and motivation. I think we'll stop right here and go back to it next week because this is chapter 9, and I think we can split it up into several parts. Okay, and I will write that down. Um, and I will see you later. In fact, I would like to let you know that I am driving down to San Diego, and so I will still be in California for the next few days, and I will see you on the road every day. Okay? Old Kinder Hook.